Right, so I am here in ChatGPT. You can see it's just a website, chat.openai.com/chat. And it looks like a messaging service, something like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, where you write things and press send, although in this case, we have an artificial intelligence chatbot responding to us. So the task that I will be giving this chatbot today is to write an episode of English Learning for Curious Minds. In case you were not aware, English Learning for Curious Minds is a podcast for intermediate to advanced English learners. We make all sorts of weird and wonderful episodes on lots of different things, from how to negotiate with hostage takers to gladiators, slaves, the World Cup's 5 biggest controversies. We make lots and lots of things. So you can see all the episode titles here. So the task I would like to give this chatbot today is to write the script for an entire episode. And not just that, actually. I'm going to give the chatbot the task of coming up with an idea for an episode. I have hundreds of ideas of my own, but let's see how well this chatbot does if I just give it some very simple prompts. So, I would like it to write an episode, but first I'd like it to give me some ideas. So, let's say I need to ask it to give me some ideas. So, I'm going to write you to provide me with some episode ideas for a podcast called English Learning for Curious Minds. Podcast for intermediate to advanced English learners. The tagline is learn weird and wonderful things about the world at the same time as improving your English. Now let's give it lots of information so it has the best possible chance of giving us some good results. Let's give it some previous episode titles. Include, let's say, history of beer, life of Donald Trump. Let's say, and what else have we got? The history of bullfighting, history of bull. Oops. And what else do we have? The rise of the FUV. Okay, let's see. History of climate change. And let's tell the chatbot that episodes should be between 20 and 25 minutes. And we'll also tell the chatbot that the episodes are scripted narrative podcasts. They don't have interviews. Narrative podcasts, no guests or interviews. Can you give me some ideas? Please. Let's see what it says. So here's the magic. Okay. The art of spying, the science of dreams, the mysterious world of cryptids, the art of deception, strange history of the Ouija board, evolution of the computer. Now, do these sound like interesting topics? I think some of them do sound like they're interesting indeed. In fact, we've done one that's similar to this and one that's similar to this already, so it seems that it's got quite a good idea. Which one should we go for? I think let's go for the history of the circus. Now, the clever thing about this is that I don't need to type the exact title. I can talk to it as if I was talking to another human. So let's say, for the one on the circus, please. Can you give me an Can you give me an outline? Okay, let's see what it said. Introduction, topic of the circus. Okay, rise of the modern circus. The golden age of the circus. Decline of the traditional circus and resurgence of the circus. Now, this looks like it's a reasonable outline indeed. Let's have a look at this. The history of the circus. Okay. So, I'll just ask the chatbot if it has any interesting or controversial facts or strange bits of trivia about this idea. You have it. Okay, this looks quite exciting. Now, if I was just to ask the chatbot to write me the script, I think it would come up a little bit short. Episodes tend to be between 20 and 25 minutes, which at the speed that I speak at is typically between 2,500 and 3,000 words of a script. So let's just try this and see what it says. Okay, great. Can you write me a script? Let's see what it says. Okay, so let's go back and see. Welcome to English Learning Videos, where you can learn weird one of things about that same time improving English. Excellent. So it's remembered the prompt from before. Fantastic. In this episode, we'll be exploring the fascinating history of the circus. But where did it all begin? Okay. It seems like it's following the suggested outline of introduction, rise, golden age, decline, resurgence, and conclusion, with one paragraph being added for each one. Okay, so it has done an okay job, but it's a bit short. Let's see how many words this is. I think it's probably about 700-800 or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so how many words was this? Not enough at all. 394. That would probably take about 2 or 3 minutes to read. So it's got off to a good start, but we need to give it a little bit more guidance. So each part should be, let's see how long it should be. So there's 6 parts, and it should go into between 2,500 and 3,000 words. So around 500 words. Can you write it? Each part should be 400 to 500 words. Let's see how it gets on. Okay, it's a little bit longer, but it still seems to be struggling, and it's forgotten some of the other parts. Okay, well, let's give it some more guidance. Okay. Can you rewrite the introduction and make it longer, please? It's also not particularly exciting. I think we should add some facts to it, something that will really get the listener to be excited to listen to the rest of the podcast. Let's see how it takes that prompt. Okay, well, this at least looks better from the point of view of including some interesting facts. Now, I have not checked whether these are true, of course. I know that this chatbot has got a bit of a reputation for sounding very confident about what it is saying, but not always being completely correct. So, Philip Astley. Let's just see if this person is indeed correct. Father of the modern circus. Does appear that this person is the father of the modern circus. Okay, well done. Very good. Okay, well, let's put this into our document. Okay, so this is a decent start. So, it's not quite 400 words, but that is a good start indeed. And we now need to get it to write the first section, the humble beginnings in ancient Rome. Should be around 500 words. Okay, it looks like it's doing a decent job here. Okay, let's see what it's written. Okay, chariot races and sporting. Okay. Let's see, there's a few points here that don't seem completely correct, but it's also kind of jumped forward a little bit, as if the episode is going to end. This would not be a good thing to have in there. So let's correct that. Can you rewrite to lead on to a section about the second part, which was going to be the rise of the modern circus? Let's see how it takes that prompt. Hasn't really understood that properly. I think this bit confused it a little bit. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just assume that this is correct. And we'll move it into here. Okay, right, so what do we have next? I tell you, to avoid me having to go back and forth, I'm just going to paste this introduction into this Google Docs. Right, now we need to write the section on the rise of the modern circus. So let's do the same thing again. Let's see how it gets on. Okay, we have Philip Astley. It seems like it's stopped halfway, so let's get it to continue. How strange that I feel I need to write please when talking to a robot. Okay. Okay. Very nice that it seems to have remembered that this is only one part, and we're next going to have the section on the golden age of the circus. It seems to have remembered that very nicely. So let's paste this in. Okay, let's keep on going. Let's say good. Now the section on the golden age, please. Same length as before. Okay. It looks promising. Let's have a little look. This looks interesting. What I'd like to know, and what I think a listener might be interested to find out, is who actually were these performers? How did you join the circus, and how did that all work? So let's ask it to add some more detail on that. Maybe even how much were they paid? Is it dangerous? Did many people die? Can you add this sort of detail? Okay, a few dollars a week. Okay. There's some repetition of dangerous here. Here we go. Okay, well that looks, it looks okay. Looks okay indeed. Let's have a little look. Let's put it in there. And what do we have next? We've got the decline of the traditional circus. There we go. Well, let's get it to write this, shall we? Do you know one thing that I think a listener would benefit from is to understand what this really means. The few dollars a week and $100 a week. So let's ask it just to rewrite that. Can you adjust the to modern standards? And given that the majority of our listeners are in Europe, I think it's always nice to have these numbers in euros. So let's see if it can give it to us in euros. Please, please tell the listener what this would be in euros. Okay. That seems reasonable, but I would have understood a few dollars a week to be less than 10. And these sums don't quite add up, but that's okay. Right. So performance sometimes paid the ultimate price. It looks like it hasn't finished writing that, so let's just ask it to continue. Okay, again, it's trying to finish the episode, and we're not quite there. We need to get the resurgence of the circus, don't we? So let's copy what we've got so far. Again, I think we will delete this from the final one, and let's ask the chatbot to write the next section. We're almost there. The resurgence of the circus. Okay. Please, can you write the penultimate section on, and let's see what else we want to ask it to do. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now, well done, it's remembered to have between 400 and 500 words. Okay. Very good. I think it would be nice to hear about a bit more about how the circus has changed. We had something in here about elephants, didn't we? Where was the elephants? Retired as elephants. Okay. Let's ask it to talk a little bit more about how the modern circus is different, and how things have changed. Use of animals. Let's see how it gets on with that. Okay. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's copy that in there. One negative thing is that after every response, it seems to want to end the episode, despite knowing that we shouldn't do that. So let's have a little look. Okay, right. That is that bit, and let's just write the conclusion. Okay, now that's good. There are two things that I always like to do towards the end. One is to provide the listener with some interesting trivia or facts or things that they might not have known. And the other thing is to leave them with some interesting questions to think about. So let's make sure that the AI knows this so that it can provide some trivia and also give the listener some interesting questions to think about. Right, let's see how it gets on. Okay, so it probably has come up with what I've asked it to do, but it's not really in a script format. So let's get it to change that. Okay, it's misunderstood what I meant because it thought I wanted to include these facts as we're going through the script. So let's see if I can change that. Not what I meant. Now, how strange that I feel I need to apologize to a robot, but there we go. So sorry, that's not what I meant. I meant to include these pieces of trivia and questions in the conclusion, but to write them in the script in a conversational tone. Let's see how it gets on with that. Okay, we are struggling a little bit. Let's see how we would do this. Please include some trivia, interesting facts, and leave the listener with some thought-provoking questions. Okay, it's doing the same thing as it was doing before. Okay, let's see how I can write the prompt in a slightly different way to get it to actually write these into the script. Okay, let's see if that helps. Okay. To ponder, it's just asked me, it's just thought that I don't like the word listener rather than the reference to a listener. This also, I think this is contradicted in an earlier thing that it said. I think it said before up to 150,000. Yeah. Seat. Okay. Perhaps it's taking the facts from two different places. Okay. Does it come from the word circus? Let's see. Okay. Just go. So it's not completely right. Okay. Anyway. Let's see how we get on. Right. So this is our conclusion. And so let's see, how many words is it written in total? The brief was for 2,500 to 3,000. Let's see how well it did. Pretty well indeed. So there we go. I asked this AI chatbot to give me ideas for what an episode could be based on some titles of previous episodes. It came up with some decent ideas. I chose the one on the circus. I gave it some prompts, some ideas about how to write the episode. It came up with a outline, a script that seems relatively sensible. There are some things that I would have done differently, but it doesn't seem so bad. And it has actually written the entire script for me. Okay, thanks. This was me working with ChatGPT to write an episode of English Learning for Curious Minds. And you can tune in shortly and listen to me actually performing this episode, me reading out an episode that was written by an AI chatbot. Okay, thanks and goodbye.